makeup loving friends, you may recognize this look. It is from my Lowest Cosmetics video. If you haven't seen it and you like this look, this eye look, then, you know, check it out. Don't be awful. I will link it down below. We are continuing on with my makeup collection. The previous two included my highlighter collection. There was 75 of those, and my blush, bronzer and contour collection. There were 64 of those. So today I figured I would go through my foundation, concealer and like general face powder collection, so that then we've kind of done the face, which sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. So I like, how many do you think I have? How many overall? How many of each? I'm super nosy. So I don't know. I'm guessing a few. Hopefully enough to make a video with. I do, yeah. But if that is something you are interested in, and also, you know, if you have a very similar skin tone to me, you may be able to see or find shades that will match you. So yeah, do keep on watching. It's just nice. So this is the full damage once it's laid out. It's quite a bit to it. So I think I'll do what I did before and go via brand rather than go via product. So rather than like separating out the foundations, etc., I'll just do it via brand, and then I'll tally up at the end as to how much I have. So I don't know, if you want to put down below as to how many products you think I have overall, how many foundations you think I have, how many concealers you think I have. I mean, obviously I have a problem. Like, let's be real. The problem is real. So first one up is actually Revolution, and I was really surprised as to the amount of Revolution products that I have. So we'll start off first with primers. I actually only have one primer from them. It's the XX Revolution Face Fix, F-I-X-X. So that's one item. Then when we get on to foundations, that's where I have a lot more of their products. So, ooh, lordy, quite a few. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Revolution products. There we go. I have the Revolution Pro, and this was gifted to me by my lovely friend Anne-Marie. I have really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it so much that she realised she could see from my videos, and she went and she got me another one. It is the CC Cream. It is in the shade F1, which is the lightest because I am a ghost. So I have 2 of the Revolution Pros, and then I have the 2 XX Revolution foundations. I have the Glow and the Matte, so that's another 2. And then I have 2 of the conceal ones. So one is the Conceal and Define, and one is Conceal and Hydrate. So I have 6 Revolution foundations, and I have 3 concealers. I have the Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C1. I have the XX Revolution one, which is in the shade CX0.1. I quite enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty good. And I have the Conceal and Define again in the shade C0.1. So an extra 3 concealers. When we get on to face powders, I have 3. So I have the XX Revolution face powder in Luster. It's an odd one because it's very, very pigmented, like in terms of like being quite a bright colour. So it's an unusual one. I don't really like it that much, but there you go. And then I have the Skin Finishes. One is in Opalescent, which it seems they have now discontinued that, but which I think is very silly of them. And I have it in Luminescence. I could have sworn I had more than just these 2, but apparently that's all I have. And I finally have 2 setting sprays. I have the
Face Fix FIXX from XX Revolution. This one is nice. It smells very coconutty. This one is the Glow Fix. And this one just spreads little glow particles, little glitter particles all over you. And it smells awful. So that is everything that I have from Revolution. So that is 1 primer, 6 foundations, 3 concealers, 3 face powders, and 2 setting sprays. Next up is e.l.f. I have 1 foundation from them. It's in, what shade? The shade Swan. Pretty decent match for me. Not too bad. I also have 1 concealer from e.l.f. It's in the shade Fair Rose. I use this a lot, as you can see. It's a favourite of mine. I do really enjoy it. Then we're on to primers. I use their primers an awful lot. So I have the Poreless Putty Primer, which I'm currently using, as you can see. And then I have 3 more primers, which I still have to test because I'm weird about primers. Like once I start them, I kind of have to finish them because I don't like leaving them sitting. But I have the Luminous, I have the Matte, and then I have the classic Poreless Putty Primer. So that's those. And then I have 2 face powders. So I have this pressed powder in the shade Fairlight, which was gifted to me by my lovely friend Elena. And I have Halo Glow, which is a setting powder, and it was gifted to me by the lovely Izzy. So thank you very much. So that's it. I have 1 foundation, 1 concealer, 2 powders, and 4 primers from e.l.f. Next up is Benefit, and I have 1 foundation from them. It's one of their Hello Happies. It's in the shade 1. It's absolutely the smallest foundation that you could ever find in your entire life. And I like having it for when I'm traveling because, you know, it's just so teeny tiny. And it fits me in terms of a colour match because I'm very pale. But their shade range is abysmal in general. But the main thing I actually have from Benefit is their primers. So I have 3 here that are illuminating primers. I have Girl Meets Pearl, and I have one that's opened and one that is still in the box because I do actually genuinely enjoy that. And I have That Gal, so that's 3 of those. And then the remaining primers are ones that I got as like samples. So I have 2 little ones of the Professional, a slightly bigger one of the Professional, and then I have one which is the Stay Flawless 15-hour primer. Next up is Urban Decay. I have no foundations, powders, or anything from this. What I do have is a hell of a lot of setting sprays. So I have one of the Quick Fixes that I got like a little mini of. I also have a teeny tiny mini sample. I am still counting it. Again, handy for when I'm travelling. When we do travel again, because, you know, I live in hope. I have a slightly bigger sample then of the makeup setting spray because I do swear by these ones. I think these are one of the best setting sprays out there. And there was an offer on at one stage where I got 2 for the price of 1, so I ran and I got 2 of them. And the latest one that's come out from them is their All Nighter Ultra Glow. Oh my god, I love this so much. Missa made me get it. Well, she didn't make me, but she just was like, this is lovely. And I said, well then, if it's lovely, I must have it. So, yeah. Next up is Juvia's Place. I have 1 foundation from them, which I haven't even really tried yet. Well, I have, but I haven't given it a full thing. And what shade is it? It's their I Am Magic. And it's in the shade Marisol. So yeah, that's the foundation I have from them. But I have 4 concealers because I am insane. I originally got this concealer. It's in the shade 24 and it's really so excellent for cutting the crease. I know, you're not meant to use concealers to cut the crease. Come get me, Robert. But I loved it so much that I ended up getting more. And weirdly, this was such a light concealer for me during the summer that I ended up getting a slightly darker one as well. So I got 2 more in the same shade and then 1 in a slightly darker shade. So I really like this for cutting creases. Soz, Robert. Soz. I now have It Cosmetics, and I have 3 foundations from them. So I have the illuminating one, and then I have their regular foundation. They're all in the shade Fair. I like these. They're very light coverage. They're perfect for the summer, so I enjoy them then. And I also have the Bye Bye Pores Poreless Finish Airbrush Powder. I haven't actually tried that yet. I may use it once my Laura Mercier runs out, because I'm coming to the end of that one. I have 2 foundations from Revlon. I ended up ordering these online during lockdown. Bloody lockdown. I got them in the shade 250 and 120. I never actually opened them. I suspect they won't be the correct shade for me, but I'll probably give them to my mom or something like that. And then I got this concealer because Missa kept talking about how it was great for like a primer on the eyes, and the lightest shade I could get was 010, but that doesn't look particularly light. But yeah, 2 foundations, 1 concealer from Revlon. I have NYX now, and I have one of their foundations. It's the Born to Glow, and it's in the shade Alabaster, which is a good shade for me. I quite like that. I have 1 concealer. It's the HD concealer, and it is in the shade CW01. I am very close to the end of that. That has been part of my project Pan. And I have their Dewy Finish setting spray. Again, so close to the end of that. They're all right. I don't think they're amazing. I primarily use this concealer as a primer for the eye. I don't find it very good as an actual concealer. Next I have Jouer, and I have 2 foundations from them. So this one was gifted to me by my lovely friend Cheryl, and it's really such a good match for me. It's the shade Ivory, and then I got this as a gift from another friend, and it's the shade Warm Ivory. So it might be a bit dark for me, but I'd say I could even see about mixing the 2 of them. So I'd say this could work for me, but I tend to not open too many foundations at the same time because I'm terrified they'll go off and I'll waste product. And then I have the concealer as well. It's in the shade Snow. So I have yet to try this because, again, I'm going through concealers at the same time. So I have problems. Let's not nitpick at it. I'm highly depressed, and I deal with my depression via buying things that I do not need. I next have Too Faced, and I have the Born This Way matte, which I recently got and I have to try, and then the Born This Way foundation, and I got them both in the shade Snow. They're good matches for me. I've played a little bit with them, but again, haven't really committed. Well, I haven't tried this one yet. I've tried this one. So if you guys want me to compare, maybe do half a face with this and half a face with this, more than happy to. And I also got the Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer in the shade Swan, so that works pretty well together. Next up is Nars. I have one of the foundations. It's the Sheer Glow foundation, and I have it in the shade Light 1 Siberia. I haven't really played with this yet. I bought it and haven't tried it yet. Look, don't come for me. It is what it is. And I have 2 concealers. So I have the Matte Paint Pot, or whatever it is called, and I have it in the shade Chantilly. This is well loved. I have hit pan on this. I need to get another one because it's really good for concealing spots. And then I got the Radiant Creamy Concealer because I figured that'd be good for the under eyes, but I still haven't tried that yet because, you know, anxiety and depression. I have one foundation from Milk. It is their Blur Liquid, and it's apparently a matte foundation. Haven't even opened this yet. I got it in the shade Fair. So again, if you want me to try this, I don't know why I got this. Who knows? I'm really bad at these sort of things. And then I have 2 samples of their Hydro Grip Primer, which I still have to try. They just keep giving me samples of these. I mean, could be worse, I guess. The pile is really starting to fall away. Next up is Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I have 2 of the Luminous foundations. They look like they're the same colour, but they actually aren't. One is 100N, and then the other one is 120W. So yeah, I have yet to try those. To me, they don't look different, like at all. It's very odd. Very, very odd. Like, is it just me? Am I having a stroke? Who knows? I got them when there was an offer on ABH, and you know, I was buying my feelings. And I also got the Dewy set, which is their setting spray, so I have yet to try that out as well. I figured I'd pool a few things together. I have 2 foundations from Hourglass. So this is the Hourglass Seamless Finish Foundation Stick, and it's in the shade Alabaster. I really enjoy this. This is a repurchase. I have the Seamless Finish liquid foundation, so it's the same as this but in a liquid, and again I have it in the shade Alabaster. I used up my last one. I loved it so much. It's really, really pretty. So 2 foundations from Hourglass, can very happily recommend. I have 2 products from MAC. So one is the Skin Finish, and it is in the shade Oh Darling. It's the Extra Dimension Skin Finish. So that's what it looks like. Yes, it is quite dark, but I make it work because I am that sort of person. I have the Pixie, the MAC Fix Plus Rose, and this was gifted to me by Missa. Thank you. I so appreciate it. You are much too kind. And then I have 2 products from Ofra, one of which is a primer. I have yet to try this, but Samantha March talked about how much she liked it, and then I ended up buying it. And then this is the makeup fixer from Ofra as well. So again, I'm grouping a few things together. I have the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent. As you can see, very near the end of that. I'm not getting much more out of it. And I have a backup one because I get frightened that this will leave me. So yeah, 2 Laura Mercier products. I have 2 from Dior. It's their Dior Skin Forever Undercover, and I have it in the shade Ivory and 00 for the concealer. I have tried these. I really liked these. I tried them a couple of times and, like I said, really enjoyed them. I then have, because I'm a weirdo, 2 different Bare Minerals foundations. Look, best not to ask. It's the Bare Pro 24 Hour, and I have one in the shade Porcelain and one in the shade Fair, because I have problems and I haven't tried them yet. But my friend Rebecca keeps saying that they're really good, so I got them, and I have problems. These were gifts from a certain somebody, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury. I have 1 foundation in the shade Cool, because, you know, I'm super cool, and I have the powder, which I'm too frightened to try because I'm afraid I'll love it, and then I'll just have to keep buying it, and it just ends up in this vicious cycle. Next thing I have is some stuff from Primark, or as we call it over here, pennies. I have 1 foundation. It is the Perfect Finish Foundation. It was sent to me by my lovely friend MQP. So thank you very much. I have quite a few of their priming sprays, and they were sent on to me by the lovely Anne-Marie and Paula. So I have 1 that's open. It's beautiful. And again, I'm waiting to kind of start on these. So 3 priming sprays from Primark / Pennies. The next thing I have then is 2 kind of glass skin primers from Artitude Cosmetics. This was sent on to me by the lovely Cheryl, aka Nemesis. I so appreciate it. I'm waiting to kind of do an almost full face of Artitude. It's in my head to do, but I just have to get the motivation because life is a struggle. Thank you so much though. I so appreciate it. Next I have is from Carter Beauty. I have the foundation, their Full Measure HD foundation. They're an Irish brand, and I kind of want to get a few more bits and pieces from Irish brands and maybe do a full face of Irish brands. I have ideas. And I have this powder as well. I have 2 things from Morphe. So one is the Luminous Setting Spray, and I have the Morphe Jeffree Star spray that I got during lockdown, and then the whole thing went down with realising how awful Jefferson Starship is a person. And I've been reluctant to actually use it, but I'm like, I might as well use it. I've spent my money, so there you go. And then I have a CYO. I have 2 foundations of these because they are actually quite nice, and I heard that the brand was going out of business, so I figured quickly run and get them, and yeah, I have 2 of those. The pile is gone, but I still have things to talk about. I have two things from L'Oreal. So one is the True Match Infallible Foundation. I haven't tried it yet, but I keep being told it's really good. And then I got the Shake and Glow setting spray, which is really pretty, really nice. I have the Fenty primer. Again, haven't tried it yet, but it's there. It's to be tried. I have the Jeffree Star Magic Star concealer in the shade C1. I haven't tried it yet. Ugh, his packaging is so like tacky, but I know it's meant to be a good concealer, and I want to clarify, I bought this before everything went down. I am not purchasing anything more from his brand, just FYI. I have a Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's in the shade 010. I have this, it's called Makeup Face. It's the weirdest name for like a foundation, but it's from Cover King, and I got this in a recent weirdly PR thing. Trust me, I was as confused as you are. I actually ended up loving this. I bought this, oh well, I didn't buy it, sorry. Stylevana sent this on to me, and it's in the shade, I think it's like 101. Yeah, velvet cover. It's beautiful. I really enjoy that. I plan on using it a lot more. They also sent me on, if I can find it, yes, Biore UV. Now, it is a sunscreen, but I've been using it as a primer, and I really like it as a primer. And I mean, you know, having a primer that has UV in it, like UV protection, quite like that. I have for Sally, because I'm an idiot, and I ended up buying the liquid glass, and haven't even tried it yet because problems. I have the number 7 powder foundation, or powder thing. Yeah, I'm trying to pan that. I don't like it very much. I find it just kind of like it kind of cakes onto my skin, so I don't love it. I have the Huda foundation. Again, I don't 100% love that. I have it in the shade Angel Food, which is a bit dark on me, but it works okay-ish. I usually lighten it down with something else, so it's all right. In a state of what can only be described as insanity, bought the Chantecaille Perfect Blur finishing powder. It was a 3 a.m. decision after, like, during a really bad bout of depression, and I bought this because so much of my spending is linked to my anxiety, and I haven't tried it yet. The reason why I haven't tried it is I'm terrified I'll love it, and if I love it, then I'll have to repurchase it, and the whole horrible cycle continues. I have a foundation here from Uoma, and I again haven't tried this. I want to do like a full face of black owned brands because I just think that would be fun, and I want to use a couple of different brands. So yeah, that's my logic. I have the Glow Mist from Pixi. I like using this in the summer. It's it's a nice one. I have, this is a recent addition to my collection. It is from Boots. It is their brightening mist. So you can use it before or after you put on makeup, or you can use it alone. It's quite nice. I don't hate it. Then I have this Kevin Aquan powder. I weirdly got this in TK Maxx. So yeah, it's quite a nice one. I have a foundation from Nabla. It's their Close Up, and it's in the shade L10, which I believe is their lightest one. I have tried this a couple of times. I'm not wildly impressed. It's not an awful foundation, but it isn't the best. I have a little Beauty Bakery sample of their loose powder, their setting powder. I haven't tried it yet, but look at how cute that packaging is. They know how to do their packaging. I have a setting spray by Technic. It is their Magic Mist. It is very glittery, but I low-key really quite like it. I know some people absolutely hate it, but I love it, and it was sent to me by my friend MQP. Thank you. I so appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I have a cream puff pressed powder from Max Factor in the shade Translucent. I panned one of these a while ago, and this was one of my backups. So actually, I don't mind this. It's quite a nice powder. Like, for like drugstore. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And finally, I have a little sample from Good Molecules. I know, strange. And it is their priming moisturizer. So that's another moisturizer. But that's it. So that is my essentially base makeup collection. So foundations, concealers, powders, primers and sprays. Were you right in how many I have? I have a lot. I have 39 foundations in all, 16 concealers. I thought I'd have more. 16 powders, 24 primers and 18 sprays. So that means in all I have 113 items. So quite a few bits and pieces. But knowing me, I will end up getting more because, you know, problems. I think the next one I'll probably do is lipsticks. So yeah, I'm getting there. I will find the motivation to record somewhere.
Yeah, it's the outro time again. I am from the past to the future, who knows? So I don't know how many I have, but I will put it on screen here somewhere. Were you right? Did you guess how many I had? Do you think I had more? Did you think I had less? I'm always interested. That's that bit of the video. I was thinking that the next thing I do is maybe, God, like liquid lipsticks. I have a lot of liquid lipsticks, and that I could swatch them. Let me know. What do you guys think? I'm leaving eyeshadow palette collection until the very, very end. I'm also going to do like my single eyeshadows as a video by itself, and I will swatch as many of them as possible. I'm not going to be swatching the eyeshadow palettes. I will be here for a million years, and like, you know, to quote a great woman of our generation, ain't nobody got time for that. But that is it. That is the end of the video. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that is it. That is the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.